Hi, my name is Lizzie, and today I'm going to be talking about how important graphic designers are to our world today. They're just as important as doctors, and we know this because we use doctors to go get, our health problems taken care of and all those other fun things and not so fun things that we have to do. But graphic designers are there to show us all the products that are out and all the new products that are coming out constantly with our world evolving. So I just want to go over how important they are to us because honestly, all the products that we use on an everyday basis we wouldn't have if it wasn't for graphic designers being able to show how important they are. So graphic designers are important because they market products in a different way that we wouldn't normally see them. So they make products look brighter and more important and more fun to look at. So as you can see, I put a picture up here that's very bright. So it's a laptop. It looks kind of like a MacBook, but it's spraying out color. And the reason they did this is to show that this version of this computer is filled with color and the screen is brighter than ever, and it's just the best thing that you can get now. So on the next slide, I'm going to be asking you a couple questions. So not everyone is born to be a graphic designer. It's really hard to do, it's really stressful, it's a lot of work. People think that it's easy to just think of an idea and be able to place it out on the market the next day, but that's not the case. I know from studying so far that it is a lot of work to be able to get from point A to point B with designing a product. So on this slide here I have Kleenex boxes, which are in a very odd shape. You wouldn't normally see a Kleenex box like this, you would see it in a little square. But these are shaped like slices of fruit, and they look like slices of fruit. And then up here, we just have some little scents that have the shape of the fruit that they're supposed to smell like on the top. So what do you see when you see these items? Do you think oh, these look cool? Or do you think oh, it's just, a Kleenex box. It's just a nice little scent. But if you were to see these Kleenex boxes on an aisle, say when you go to Walmart, would you choose these Kleenex boxes or would you choose the normal brand, like the normal square cube shaped Kleenex boxes? Normally you would go for the cooler looking Kleenex box, right? Yeah, that's what I would do too. So one time, I'm just going to share a little personal story. I went to Fry's, which is our local grocery store here in Arizona, and I went with my boyfriend and I wanted kiwis. And there was a box of 6 kiwis for, I think it was $2.50 or something, but it was just your standard box of normal kiwis that you could get at any store. And then there was a box of kiwis next to it it was about the same price, but on the packaging it had a kiwi that was kind of made to look like a person, and it just looked a lot cooler than the normal box. And that was the first time that I realized that I purchased the cooler looking box of kiwis just because I liked the way it looked better. Which is an example of how graphic designers come into a play of making sure that their packaging looks more appealing, so the person will tend to buy more of those. On average, 1/3 of the consumer decision making is based on just the simple packaging. And that says a lot because 1/3 of consumers is a lot of people that go out to buy products, and it could be as simple as buying milk. People will steer towards Shamrock Farms just because it has that cute little cow on it that graphic designers created to make it look more exciting and appealing. So if you think about it, graphic designers have a really large role in packaging and how it can affect other people. So if you think about the daily routine of a graphic designer, you probably think oh, they just go to their office and sit down and draw out some ideas and don't do much other than that. But that's wrong, because graphic designers have a lot of stuff on their plate, and it consists of getting into the office early in the morning and making coffee right away because they need that coffee. And then it consists of early meetings and working on projects and getting as much as they can done because of their short due dates. So graphic design is not an easy job. So based on these advertisements, would you think that this advertisement about this cigarette saying how long can you live and it shows the length of the cigarette, do you think that that would influence a cigarette smoker to not want to buy cigarettes? I think that it would. I think that it would truly affect a cigarette smoking choice. And then what about this one with the are you pouring on the pounds and it's a bottle of Coca-Cola pouring into a cup? So do you want to gain that weight and drink that Coca-Cola that has more calories than water just because it tastes good? Probably. More than likely. So just keep in mind that graphic designers work really hard to keep our world fun and keep our market growing. And that is why we like to show that graphic designers are just as important as doctors because they really do help, like, the way that we all function together. So, thank you for listening.